What if a single empty chair at a global summit showed that America's era of leadership is coming to an end? What if the world's most powerful country simply didn't show up, and everyone else continued without it? At the 2025 G20 summit in Johannesburg, a powerful image spread online. Every major world leader was present, except the United States. That empty seat became a symbol of a changing world order happening right in front of us. President Cyril Ramaphosa called on the world to stop fighting and focus on achieving the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. He said South Africa had created a foundation of global unity, and now the G20 must build a future that is fair, prosperous, and shared by all. His message was simple: progress will move forward with or without anyone. This moment didn't come out of nowhere. It was the result of years of growing political and ideological differences between South Africa and the United States. Since gaining democracy, South Africa has followed a foreign policy that avoids taking sides and supports the global South. This often conflicted with Washington's expectations. When the Trump administration returned in 2025, it demanded loyalty from allies and global partners. South Africa refused. It continued to support Palestine at the International Court of Justice, avoided taking sides in the Ukraine conflict, and strengthened ties with China and Russia through BRICS. In response, Washington increased pressure, tariffs on South African goods, political criticism, and eventually a complete boycott of the G20 summit. The official U.S. explanation was the claim that white South African farmers were facing genocide, a claim repeatedly dismissed by human rights groups and fact-checkers. But the deeper truth was clearer. The U.S. did not agree with South Africa's G20 themes of equality, inclusivity, climate responsibility, and global South leadership. However, the boycott backfired. Instead of stopping the summit, the rest of the world continued. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz called the U.S. absence disappointing. French President Emmanuel Macron said he regretted it, but insisted that the summit must go on. And that's exactly what happened. South Africa led the event confidently, and many nations praised its leadership. Here's the twist that most people never heard: the United States is not leaving the G20. In fact, only days after boycotting the summit, Washington is scheduled to take over the G20 presidency in December 2025. So the real question is, how will the U.S. lead a global group that it refused to attend? The empty chair in Johannesburg was not just a missing delegate. It was a message. The old world order is changing. Power is no longer controlled by one nation.